Mama D, Mama D, Mama D. The great thing about Mama D is you just keep giving her the rope and she hangs herself. Because I don't watch her videos, but I get weekly briefs from the legal team that are analysing it.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about some little messages. So before we get into my opener, I want you to think about this. It's really important. What have I done on this channel but express myself and ask questions, right? That's the only thing I've done is questioned the narrative. Why Jay Slater? Why are these people only fixed on my Jay Slater case? If it wasn't, if it's like my job in questioning the narrative, why not go over and behave this way regarding me questioning the narrative in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case? Those are children. I'm questioning the narrative. I'm looking at parents going, what the hell? Why not bug me then? Why only Jay Slater? When, or let me ask you a better question. What case have you ever been on where the searchers go on social media to sustain the narrative that it is absolutely an accident? Let me know. How many cases has that happened to you on? I've done well over 100 cases and it's not ever happened this time. And the Stephen Avery case. All right, let's ask another question. I have a question for you. When have you ever listened to searchers on any social media platform continue to talk about the case even though the body was found? Again, 100 to 1 cases here. That's peculiar. All right, let's ask another question. You guys game for this? Let's keep asking questions because that's what we do here. Hello to everyone. All right, let's ask another question. Why would the searchers, let me rephrase this because it's important how we ask the questions. How many cases have you worked or even watched where the creators are being threatened by a group of people that claim to have found the BODY, but didn't find the BODY? They just knew where the BODY was, but they needed somebody else to go get it. Threatening creators. So I've never been in a case where anybody threatens the creators other than the Steve Avery case and the Jay Slater case. Not only that, but the same people that are trolling anybody that questions the narrative are all grouped together now with the very people that the individual was last seen with. Isn't that strange? Okay, let's ask it. How many cases do the searchers who allege that they found the body of then group together, the searchers group together with the original people that were last seen? So think of the alignment of the stars, if you will, of how minute the AI calculation would be for the very people to have seen this person that met their demise at the ripe old age of 21 years old on holiday vacation. They're the last known people to be with that individual, and they team up with searchers that end up finding the BODY, but not during the search, but later, much later, when all of a sudden nobody wants to accept the narrative that it's an accident. So, a little 11 bird collected some audio from a fellow creator who allegedly is in working with this little Pillsbury Doughboy here behind all our backs and so forth. And then that creator shared it with their mods, but it's not about the threats, it's not about how I feel. It's to prove my point that this is not a normal person's thinking. Searchers don't get like this. Normal searchers, normal people. Keep in mind, you guys, and this is again directed at Warren. I've done this over the last year. I have, well, almost a year, right? Just a few days, almost a year. I have always offered this to Warren. My email is in every single video. Just go look at the description. I'm fully accessible and open. I also have public comments. If Warren wanted me to stop, I've said all along, he just needs to let me know. So I've always acted in favor of getting the truth, whatever that be, for Jay Slater. And all I've done is ask questions. However, that warrants a lot of unwanted attention all the time. I'm not the only one. I don't take this stuff serious. I'm saying these are the kind of people that all group together. Think about it. We have 2 convicted rug dealers that served time. Truth Train just went through. Alone with the 19-year-old that ends up never being seen alive again. The searcher teams up with him, and then another person that's not even in the country that's doing this off of some sort of tactical means teams up with that guy. It's this mentality that they have a group of them that I believe were working together from the very beginning. A normal searcher, a normal person involved in this case would not go to the links that these people go to. I'm about to share the audio. Take it for a grain of salt because that's all it's worth. Throw it over your shoulder and keep moving. I've had far worse threats. I don't like that my children are brought up at all. But I'm not going to table this in the shadows. I'm not going to lose my crap. This is just showing you that this is the way it works. We have 36,000 voices in my channel that are questioning the narrative. That's a large amount of people saying, what in the world happened here? Most of you, we've done the polls. It's always the majority do not buy the narrative. And if we did, Mark William Thomas would not be making money. I would have moved on to a different case because I believe the narrative. So, what are Chris and Leggy and all these people doing? It'll be interesting to find out how this inquest goes. I think a no show, they may not in Lancashire have the ability or the authority or means to enforce that people not of the UK show up for that inquest. However, will it then push it into, well, they won't even show their face? There is a reason to look at this closer. That's what I'm praying. I'm actually thinking this is a win win if we have somebody that's unbiased, that's seriously paying attention to what's going on. But that being said, I am an open book. I share that I have children. I share that they love piano. By the way, Pillsbury Doughboy, they don't do ballet. I'm sure this message was shared with whoever so that it would get to me, right? But it doesn't get to me because honestly, I know this is just a Pillsbury Doughboy trying to intimidate me to stay offline on the Jay Slater case. Wax has been through this. Duncan has gone through this. Luggy's still putting things out there, and it has to do with choking out our breath, right? And there's this whole, we're going to be in trouble. Well, I'm a United States citizen, and so are my children. And we have the right to ask questions when we don't believe something. And as far as I know, I think that's legal pretty much anywhere unless you're in some country that doesn't allow it. But at the risk of sounding like this is a joke, I need you to realize it's not comfortable for us that sit here behind the camera, sit here behind the mic, and we sure the hell aren't making it on the views on the Jay Slater case to make it worth our time. So obviously, this isn't about money, clicks, or views. This is about the absolute, real, honest to God truth. And the truth is that these are thugs, in my opinion. Literally, they intimidate. I think they intimidated the family. I think that's why the family stayed quiet till the inquest said, we want them brought in. We want to see them in front of everybody because they're terrified to ask in private, so they want it public. That's my thinking. That's my opinion. You cannot make me think that Jay Slater had an accident. You can talk all gosh darn day, night. You can get drunk and smoke your little cigarettes all over and puff like you're Marilyn Monroe, but you still be a Pillsbury Doughboy that don't sweat when it gets hot. No. That's just my opinion. Now, I don't know what happened with that guy, EP. He got into somebody was hot, somebody was mad, all that. But allegedly, this is the one that Crispy's been talking to. Now, I don't know if somebody's just saying that to throw this EP under the bus. I know EP's been in my chat. I couldn't tell you where the man sits. Not my point. My point is, in what case ever in recorded history that you're aware of, will you hear or have you heard anybody that is a searcher do something like this? Let's go ahead and share this.
Mama D, Mama D, Mama D. The great thing about Mama D is you just keep giving her the rope and she hangs herself. Because I don't watch her videos, but I get weekly briefs from the legal team that are analysing it. Oh, fucking hell. It is hysterical.
So they're now paying a legal team who not only are they paying a legal team, but you're going to hear that he has either weekly meetings or daily meetings, and he ends every meeting with the love of his life, Mama D. That's how fascinated Crisp is of moi. I'm a center of his focus. I must be on his mind, rent free, day after day. On the other hand, I still see him as the Pillsbury Doughboy. Just saying. Thank you, Zaxxon, for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, sweetheart. I truly appreciate that. Okay. Are you ready to hear more? It just gets better and better. Okay, here we go.
We do laugh. We laugh a lot. With the tarot card fucking read.
Okay. He laughs at my tarot cards. Fine. No sweat off my back. You know, I am a rubber duck. Pretty much water off my back. I just know you're not spiritually awake, so I get it. And don't bother me. Let's keep going.
Come to Jesus.
Okay, there. That's not my problem if you're not right with your God. That's not my problem. I mean, I feel bad for you. I really do. But it also tells me that somebody not right with God ain't right with God. Makes me wonder what all kinds of things they do if they don't think they have a maker to answer to. I don't know. Just sounds strange.
Save the fucking world.
Oh, save the effing world. Such a lame cause, huh? Yeah, Pillsbury. Obviously, you're not here to save the world. So, if this isn't about saving our planet and that's not a moral choice that you make, then what kind of choices are you making? See, I have fought in my life where I am to be honest, to be transparent with myself before others. So I'm honest to myself and I'm honest to everybody. And I don't really care what you think. I don't care what you feel. But I am making sure that everybody hears how you behave and what you say and what kind of thoughts you have, where your morals lie. Not because I'm accusing you of a thing, but because your own words show what kind of gang mentality that you have,
Crack the
in my
fucking
opinion.
gaze. Honest to God, she's a fucking joke. She's a joke.
If I'm a joke, then haha, move along. Why are you so focused if I'm such a joke? All 36,000 of us are a joke because we question the narrative, right? Because we hold our own and we do not care what others think because we do not accept what is being told to us. And face it, the little documentaries wouldn't even get a view if we didn't question the narrative. So if you're putting out a documentary, isn't it in your best interest if we question the narrative so that you'll get our dollar, right? Yet you want to call everybody else a grifter. Did you get that shot laying on the ground by the cactus? Oh, I'm all scraped up. Oh my God, that man trap shredded man. Chris, you forgot to spray water under your armpits so you look like you were in the pit sweating.
Mate, I wish I could invite you into some of the fucking meetings that.
He has meetings. where they're going to talk about me. He likes to end with the last 30 seconds about a Mama D update because I'm famous in his world.
I dedicate about 30.
This isn't a silly drunkard. This man, don't chalk it up to silly behavior. This is a moral choice in his words. He's not slurring his words. No, he's very clear in his communication. So, no, this is actually horrible. That this is the mindset of searchers. They're going to talk ill of my children that were Jay's age. My children are 21 this month and 22. And this man talks ill of my children on here. This isn't a drunkard, nothing. This is somebody talking very clear, not slurring their words. And this is the mindset of those calling it an accident. You feel me? Trying to intimidate people like Wax, like Duncan, like myself. But we're strong. We're super strong because we've been at this for a while. At least I have. I've been in this since 2016. I faced a lot of hardships because of true crime. And that might be why I take it personal when someone's like, you do this for clicks and views. And I'm like, okay, sure, buddy. YouTube gives you $2 to $5 for 1,000 views. Wow, you got 3,000 views. You made $15 today. And they are working on, the bad guys are working on trying to figure out where you live. Good job, $15. High five. Anyway, enough of that. But let's get into this. Here we go.
Seconds of the fucking meeting to right at the fucking end. Well, we've just
What now?
about 30 seconds of the fucking
okay, hold
meeting
on.
to she's a joke.
Right.
Mate,
Yeah.
I wish I could invite you into some of the fucking meetings that, I dedicate about 30 seconds of the fucking meeting to right at the fucking end. Well, with just my Petruvian guard guys who are going to take pleasure.
He's got Peruvian guards that he's meeting with on a regular basis. And he ends the meetings with the last 30 seconds of Mama D content. And they're going to take pleasure. Whatever. I'm just telling you now, I haven't done a darn thing but ask questions. And I still don't believe that Jay Slater had an accident. He can't scare me. He can't intimidate me. He can't trick me. What are you doing, Bubon? Don't flood the chat, sweetheart. Okay, it gets more delusional. So, yeah, last 30 seconds of every meeting with his
about
guards.
30 seconds of the fucking meeting to right at the fucking end. Well, with just my Petruvian guard guy.
Just his, not the entire government, just his.
Who are going to take pleasure at taking the channels off her. Ruining her boy's fucking ballet lesson.
How do you plan on ruining my boy's ballet lessons? And I'm sure that was well known that it wasn't ballet, but you wanted to put that little thing in there to make it feel as though my children, my male children, aren't masculine. I get it. See, words are important. But no, it's my son actually is musically inclined and works his butt off. And he's also a nutritionalist. So you kind of got that wrong. But to even talk about my children, you see the mentality. Don't lose the focus that it's not really about me or my kids. It's really about who would behave like this. And it even gets worse. He even suggests that my kids aren't going to be eating out for a very, like, aren't going to be going out. And I don't know what that means for a long time to come. So you could even take that in a worse way. And they're my children. I haven't doxed you guys. I don't know if you have children, nor do I give a fuck. What I've been doing is I've been focused on Jay Slater. You put yourself in that case. I put myself in this case. So together, you would think if you had a moral bone in your body at all, even if you're godless, you would think if you have a moral bone in your body, you would not speak of anybody's children because it's not right. They have nothing to do with any of it. So I do find that peculiar. And it tells me that children are not off limits to you. That's sad. Oh, wait a minute. Jesus, same age as my kids. Wow. So you like to smack your lips and smoke your cigarettes and act all delusional, in my opinion, threaten people and their children, but yet we're supposed to believe that you're one of the good guys, even though you knew information that you should have never known that led them to find Jay Slater, in my opinion.
And they won't be going for fucking Burger King outly weekends. Outly.
Oh, wait. Let's listen to the whole what he'd say about my kids. It's terrible.
The fucking meeting to it right at the fucking end. With just my Petruvian guard guys who are going to take pleasure at taking the channels off her.
Whatever.
Ruining her boys' fucking ballet lessons, and they won't be going for fucking Burger King outly weekends. Weekly outings for quite a fucking while. But when it comes down, she will go spastic. She'll be screaming. But do you know what we do? So we can have fun. Do you know, like the trolls, when they take someone down or when they abuse someone, they
Who have I abused, huh? By asking why you're not sweaty? Really? I mean, who have I abused? I'm not an abuser. But is it abusive to suggest that you're going to take action that children won't be able to go out for quite a while on outings afterwards? I'm just asking. Again, I'm asking the questions today.
have to enjoy the pain that someone else is going through, yeah?
Describing yourself
So you
much?
never want to take them down completely. So what we'll do is we'll probably take one of the channels down, see her go into the other one, start spewing and actually making a hysterical fucking mess of herself, and then we'll just take her down the other one after we've laughed our cocks off at her.
Oh, wait. How are you going to laugh your COCKs off if you, well, I mean, there's probably a little one, huh? I guess you'll have a 10-second laugh, huh, Chris?
A week. And when it comes, oh mate, it's going to be fun as fuck. And like you say, mate, I have got your seat reserved right next to me, mate, because you're a fucking stand-up decent guy. So your seat is right next to mine. Bollinger Rose or Guinness or beer or whatever it is you want, but I'll be drinking Bollinger Rose that day. We'll be sat in my fucking cinema room. I'll crack out the popcorn. I'll pay for your fucking flights. You come over, and when the fucking fireworks come out, mate. I want you to be there with us to watch it unravel. It's going to be so much fucking fun, mate.
It's not just me. This group, GANG, tries to intimidate Wax by accusing him of things that Wax never did, tries to do all kinds of stuff with Duncan and mess with him, and continues to try to intimidate me. Why would searchers do that? Why would you care if you're a searcher and you found the body what anybody thought? Whether they thought it was an accident or not, why would you care? Why would you care? Why would you intimidate people and threaten them and be so vile?
So yeah, just I'll let you know when that's going to happen. Obviously, it'll be after the inquest.
Oh, after the
But in the
inquest.
meantime,
That must have not went as planned. Well, we're not done with the inquest. If I disappear, just remember, it only takes me 1,000 members to remonetize. I get paid the same whether I have 36,000 or 1,000. So I would just simply start back up again. And I promise you, I'll be back at it even harder than ever. However, honestly, this platform allows us a way to communicate our thoughts, our feelings, our theories, our speculation, throwing spaghetti at the wall. And I follow the community guidelines, as well as I've always made sure I've never accused someone of doing this to anybody. I've always asked questions. And so I'm interested to see what's going on with this. At least you'll be informed. I know, I'm not worried about it. I would have already been notified. But anyway, this is old, you guys. This is old. This was before the other inquest or the inquest. This is old, so who knows? I'm just wanting you to see the kind of mentality of this. This is a GANG. Hit it with a gong. You feel me? This is gong mentality. And gong mentality, I believe, that was together from the very get-go because they're all working together now. And it would make sense they were all working together before. That's how they would know where the body is to make the tip off. You feel me? Just a theory. Just a theory. I could be wrong. You know, it's just my humble opinion always, but this to me shows the moral fibers built within someone and what links they'll go to. Now ask yourself, why would anybody still be in this case bothered by somebody else asking questions unless they didn't want the answers revealed?
mate, don't fucking trouble your head with all the shit because they're all chatting bullshit. And if you don't believe me, do me a favour.
Listen to this
A
one.
guy who was one of the owners of Liverpool Football Club, I was his
I'm
bodyguard
just
for a while.
embarrassed for him right now, but
He used to always say to me, Chris, go stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, speak to yourself, and the truth just comes out. So what I'm saying to you, Freddie, is if you're unsure about anything, mate, I'm always at the other end of the phone. But if you're unsure about anything, go stand in front of the mirror, ask the mirror the questions,
who's
and you'll get
Freddie?
all the answers that you fucking need,
Because he
mate.
just told us who he was
All right,
talking
bro.
to.
Love you. Have a good night.
Who's Freddie? I would like to know. So, yeah, that's the kind of mentality we're actually up against. Now, I've sat on that for a long time. I didn't want to have to come out here and share it at all, but I'm like, I think the inquest needs to be notified of how the searchers treat anybody that just is asking questions. They can review my channel, they might learn something, right? Then they might be in the case and being like, wait a minute, let's look at this beach footage. Ooh, what's this no bull content about how, the one night day of June 17th is missing from the Los Cristianos beach? You got that on No Bull's channel. That's interesting. Look at this. This wax guy is saying that these are not the right shoes, and look, they're not. So why didn't Jay have those shoes on that are in the video now when he passed? How'd he get different shoes on? Wait a minute, he didn't. If he had different shoes on, maybe something's wrong here. Because remember in the inquest we were talking, he didn't have pants when he was found, but the witnesses that are all saying they saw Jay are saying pants. Maybe it would get like that. So go ahead, do what you got to do. Oh, well, there you go. Chris named the guy Freddie. I'll let you make your own conclusions. Whoever the hell Freddie is, I'll let you draw. But apparently, he's the one that shared it with all his mods, and they had a good laugh. So whatever. I'm well. My channel's well. I have my beautiful family, and potato heads and Pillsbury Doughboys don't scare me. They're all air, right? All air. But that way you know who you can trust and who you can't. Now, you followed me for the whole Jay Slater case. You have probably, a lot of you have been with me for years. Look, Debbie, 17 months, right? Because every case I work, I give my all. I ask the questions that you're asking, right? Where do my ideas come from? From you guys asking questions. I start asking the same thing and try to find the answer. And I ask your opinion. Do you think this is something or don't you? So what if I show something that doesn't matter? We soon know to disregard that information. We fine tune it. But when you boil down to it, and thank you, Debbie Gazzardo, my beautiful, for 17 months. That's absolutely incredible. I thank you for your support. But when it all boils down to the bare essentials, as Harsh would say, the meat and potatoes of the meal, the truth of the matter is, you now can take what you know of me and my character, and you can look at how this is the way we're treated. You can look at Wax, think of how he's been treated. Look at Duncan, think about how he's been treated. Now, take that three-way connection there. Think of the way you've been treated by these people. Add that all up and think of how they must be treating the family. Because like I said, it would only take one message from Warren, Jay's dad, and if he said stop, I'm out like that. Because Jay has passed. I can't necessarily get him justice, but I can still be a voice for those that have questions. And I believe Debbie and Warren absolutely have questions. In fact, it's factual that they have questions still, or we wouldn't be having a second part to the inquest. They have stated they have questions and they want them answered face to face. So if they're so okay with this being an accident, why do they still have questions and want people to answer? I'll let you be the judge of this all. I decided that it was time to share the kind of pressure that we do get put under. Did it put pressure on me? It made me mad for about 10 minutes. But I had Jennifer Swain actually on the phone, and she listened to it and she was like, Mama D, he can't touch you or your kids. I'm like, I know. But I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, I want to show the truth. I want to show what we're really dealing with, that they'll even say things about our kids. It's sickening, disgusting, when all we're doing is saying, I don't believe the narrative. I do not believe, and I probably never will believe, that Jay Slater walked off that cliff into that ravine. no more than you can convince me that Nicola Bully passed through drowning in 2 feet of water. Nor would you be able to convince me that you have been honest with yourself if you don't have some questions, because even the parents have questions. If you are so absolutely 100% concluded on the actual narrative and do not have any further questions, then that tells me that you know more than the parents, the investigators, the witnesses, and all of us. Interesting. All right, my loves. We've been on here far too long. And I will come back. We will continue our coverage on Jay Slater. I love you very much. To the moon and back. I got to see where the stop button is. All right, here we